You got to click it so it goes in so they can hear you.
Awesome. I didn't know we were starting. That's
Can
great.
this be part of the rewind? Can we just make that part of the rewind?
So,
Hey,
that's so generous of her, though, to help me out here. I'm
I'm trying to talk here.
I'm teaching.
I'm drowning.
Hey, he's a learner.
I'm literally drowning over here.
What do you just got to respond when we ask you questions. It's easy.
Let him do what he needs to do.
Look, today was about you, okay? I'm
How-
sorry. Welcome to the TexAgs Rewind. I wanted to make it all about Kennedy Cavan, right? And then passing of the torch there to young Matthew Dawson, because today's your last day.
It is my last day.
By the way, this is the Rewind presented by...
Don't zoom in, Nicholas.
Who are we presented by?
Yeti.
Thank you very much for that.
Yes.
We're going to miss you.
Aww.
Aww. The YouTube audience is really going to miss you. TexAgs.com audience is going to miss you. Radio audience, maybe.
Maybe. My voice might be a little annoying.
No. Never.
Nick. With the angle.
Anywho, what are your speech? Like they do in a
Speech.
Final thoughts as you wait.
Final thoughts.
You graduate tomorrow.
I graduate tomorrow, 2 p.m.
We like that. We like when you graduate.
Good luck when I graduate.
No, we like that you graduate.
Oh,
yeah.
thank goodness. Honestly,
Good times.
freshman year didn't know if I'd be at this point, but here we are, day before.
6 weeks ago. I wasn't
24
sure.
hours. But yeah, I'm graduating with a degree in sociology.
Oh, smart.
Hopefully I don't, fingers crossed that I don't fall on stage.
That
That's
was my big fear.
That's my biggest fear.
Yeah, and now with social media.
Because I have my entire extended family coming. Oh, and here comes Dalton Hughes busting in.
Friday morning, I would make that a whole segment if you did fall, for the record.
Yeah, and I understand.
Hi, Dalton.
Okay.
Thank you for your service
Aw.
to TexAgs. We appreciate you.
Are you trying to get me to cry on air?
Do it. Cry.
No, I can't. I won't.
Why?
I refuse.
What if we love you and we think you're the best? We ranked you the best Wednesday social center person ever of this year.
You know what? Thank you. I'm going to get a plaque made just for that.
Maybe they'll hang it at Chimmy's.
Hey, Edge Cooper declared for the NFL draft, by the way. That's going to be on
Go
the rewind.
Edge.
Thanks, Dalton, for your
Bye, Dal.
time. Billy Liucci joined us on the new strength and conditioning coach, Tommy Moffitt.
Moffitt.
Moffett.
Sounds kind of like a,
Moffett.
what's the Italian like mob
A
boss?
Moffitt.
Like a,
I don't know what it sounds like. We also talked Aggie Hoops with Tom Schuberth and recruiting country with Ryan Brauninger.
boo, Brawny.
Tell the people to watch the rewind.
Go watch the rewind or else.
You looked at the wrong camera.
I did. Go
All right.
watch the rewind or else.
There you go. So yesterday, Edge Cooper announced he's going to the NFL, which we expected to come. I think we should give him some props, not just for the season he had, but you even said it during the break, OB, for believing in the process and development. We've given so many fingers pointed for the lack of development in certain areas. 2 seasons ago, linebacker was a huge issue, and we came into this season thinking, I don't know, man. You get Torian York, but what else is different, right? I'll tell you what was different. Edgerrin Cooper developed into the stud that we thought he could be, and he was actually better than I expected him to be.
He's better than I expected. I mean, I thought he'd be better this year because last year he was in his first year as a starter. You see that often. You learn a lot your first year, and then your second year you get a lot better. That's not uncommon. But he took it to a whole different level. He advanced 2 steps instead of 1.
Yep.
But he was remarkable. When we would always watch and see, you'd see the physical ability and the impact at contact. He's a hard hitter. He could run sideline to sideline. He would show flashes of that big play ability.
Yep.
But he just put it all together this year. And again, it was his second year as starter. So it makes sense that he'd be better. But gosh, what he did this year, he was the best player on A&M's team.
It is easy to point fingers at DJ Durkin. The defense was really good this year, but I know why people were disappointed overall, 3-man front too often, yada, yada, yada. But when he took over a linebacker spot, there was an upgrade through all the guys. Torian York was a pleasant surprise. We knew he was going to be a nice player, but he was like a legit starter from day one. Chris Russell had a really nice year. Edge Cooper, like that position, again, you got to give a little bit of props. But at the end of the day, it's Edge Cooper's mind, his ability, and his work ethic that is why he can go to the NFL now. And I think he's going to be highly coveted. I'm going to assume you're super excited about this. I feel like it's a home run hire.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, as far as strength coaches go, I know the initial hire, he tried to bring his guy from Duke, and he decided to stay back. I think he had moved multiple times in the last few years. Wasn't going to do that with the family, and then I don't know if those guys overlapped at Miami, he and Manny Diaz, but they might have. And I went and did a little research, in the last couple of days because Moffitt was here. It was 2 days ago he was here, and did a little research, and that was the only candidate that Elko went after. Really since he's been here, because he knew there were reports that his former strength and conditioning guy at Duke was coming over with him. I confirmed straight that was never the case. He never said he was coming. He was never going to come. That was the kind of like, hey, I'm comfortable with you. Let's get over here. And he was never leaving. So there was like a weird time, like a week ago, where it came out that he turned the job down. He had never taken it. It made it sound like Elko was scrambling. So this has been a 2-week search, essentially, for a strength coach from the moment he got the job. And this is the one guy he had zeroed in on and came in a couple days ago, and they reached an agreement and got a deal done. And I think Mike Elko checked that box and probably had to be sitting there going, this is incredible. This is as good as I could have possibly done. You look at the resume. Here's the other thing. The people that go, well, he's from back, he was great years ago. There's two things with that. That strength and conditioning game is I think it's a lot easier to adapt to if you're willing to and you want to than the game of college football, meaning the on-field X's and O's, styles of offense, styles of defense, portal window, NIL, all that. David, you sit there and change your workouts dramatically every 6 months or something. All it takes is the willingness and desire to kind of continually educate yourself. And you look at Tommy Moffitt and all the different degrees and certifications he's got. And
they do everything that A&M likes to do.
Arguably, they're probably right now playing the best basketball of anybody in the country, and they've got two great guards. But we'll talk about them later. But I think it's a great challenge. The good news is it's on a neutral court, and they're undefeated. And I really believe I've been on some undefeated teams long stretches into the season, and it's hard to play because you're getting everybody's A game. You're playing technically not to lose, but we usually come out, or A&M does, and surprises people when we have our backs against the wall. We got to take great shots. I know we'll match their intensity and the rebound, and I think our stats are almost identical to one another. But they also have a lot to play for, Houston. So I'm looking for us to hopefully control the basketball, maybe not play as fast or shoot as quick. You've got to reverse the ball on them because they're so good. Their initial set defense is so good.
When you talk about the point guard position overall, it's not necessarily just Wade. It's ball handling responsibilities and initiating the offense.
Correct. I don't want to be critical, but I've never liked Wade at the point only because he's such a great scorer and shooter. I know he can play there some, and he does a tremendous job with assists and steals. But we were talking earlier, Quinterly from Memphis, to me, he looks to pass and get the others involved first, and then when he needs to score, he takes that over. I think if Wade can do that, that'll actually help his offensive production. He's obviously pressing. I heard your interview with him yesterday. I was so impressed with him. Usually guys will make excuses or, point fingers. He was so mature about it. So I know he's going to get it solved, but we need someone to handle that point guard position and run the team and worry about the other four guys first and their personal stats next.
Yeah, what I took away from that interview is he's very cerebral, he's very aware, but he's also not worried. And I like that from my point guard. Like, I haven't been shooting all right, but it's coming. For people who are asking, there was somebody on the YouTube chat that said, can you ask Brauninger how Elko is as a recruiter? How does he compare to Jimbo? And just that's something that I know you have squelched on the boards before. Elko's a really good recruiter.
We don't know how Mike Elko is as a recruiter at a place like this as the head coach.
Right.
we've already seen him get out more and visit with high school coaches more and run the roads more now than we did during his first stint here. And like for anybody to come up with a narrative about what kind of recruiter he is or isn't up to this point because of what you thought you learned about him as a defensive coordinator or what you think you've learned about him over 16 days on the job, that's a little preemptive, right? And it's like it's short-sighted, and I think the focus of it is too narrow. The fact of the matter is we don't know yet. We've got a good idea. We can say there are some things about him on the recruiting trail right now. He's organized. He is running the roads like crazy. I mean, he has been in San Antonio. He's been in Mississippi. He's been in College Station. He's been all over Houston. He's been all over Dallas. I don't know how much free time he's got to do things in College Station because it seems like most of the weeks so far have been spent on the road visiting kids, visiting high schools. So hardworking is the number one attribute I can give to him right now. But in terms of how effective he is, we'll wait and see. I know this too. The organizational structure that he's putting together over there is much different than what Jimbo had rolling. So we'll see kind of how that manifests itself in results. But they have got a portal guy, they've got a high school guy, they've got a general manager, they've got directors of player personnel that, from what I understand, are like divvying up. This is the offensive guy, this is the defensive guy, and then like it's very structured.
All right, Cavs, we're going to close it out. Tell Matthew what he needs. Well, he needs to tell us. So
he has to tell us because you do this to every single intern.
And he was awkward yesterday when we had him do it.
Oh, you already did it?
And he was bad.
Yeah, I remember
awkward.
when I did it. It was mortifying.
Yeah, it was so awesome.
Dalton's taking the shrimp and
yeah,
grits.
I was going to have, that was for me, not for him. Go ahead.
All right, but here we go. Redemption tour. What you guys need to do, like, subscribe, and comment, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell your
Make
friends
sure
about it.
Kennedy feels loved. All right.
Yeah, for everybody who says congratulations, Kennedy, we won't give you anything, but just thank you for doing that.
Thank you for doing that.
See you next
Love
time.
y'all.
Bye.